Hi everybody, I put some lipstick on. Just feel like wearing this right now. Um, anyways, I'm watching Super Mario Logan right now. So I was just thinking of about my depression and things that I go through every day. And I was just thinking when did my depression start? Say when I found out that I had mental problems and all that. So sorry, I'm trying to find a lighter. But I've been at a young age. I had a really good childhood, but I was very mental and everything. But I think the thing that got my depression and everything was, hold on, I'm trying to find my lighter.
See, that's your issue right there. That's why you wouldn't win, Junior, because of a stupid idea like that. You always. What would you do with $1 billion, Mr. Responsible?
Sorry, trying to find it. What I do, I always leave my lighters. Oh, good, I found my son's phone. Um, it's kind of good that I lost my lighter because I found my son's phone. I just, I just made myself coffee too because I felt like drinking coffee. Um,
It's $1 billion. What would you do with $1 billion?
but I don't know what to do with it. Oh well, I'll find it eventually. So I had mental problems. I was going through a hard period of time in my life before I found out I had, bipolar disorder back then. I was in a mentally abusive relationship with my guy that I lost my virginity to. Um, um, he would just be really mean and say very hurtful, rude things to me. Um, and sometimes I would actually have sex with him when I really didn't want to. He would always try to pressure me to have sex with him, and he'd say stuff like, "If you love me, you'll sleep with me. If you love me, all this stuff." And I was just stupid. I was stupid to stay in that relationship for as long as I did. I, God, go away, bug. Oh, sorry, you guys. That was a bee. Fuck. That was a bee, and it was all over me, and I was afraid that the sucker would sting me. So I sadly had to let it go. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was all over me. I honestly think it couldn't do anything. I don't know. I just knew that it would probably sting me. I don't want to get stung by a bee, so I killed it. But yeah, there's no more bees in here, so we're good. Hold on. stung me like because I was and I could have there. I was like, fuck no, I'm not gonna let that stuff just sting me. So yeah. Bugs don't count anyways. But yeah. I wish I knew where my lighter was. But yeah, I was in an abusive relationship with him. He said some really like fucked up stuff. I was pretty emo back then because of the way he was treating me. When like I first started like the self harm and all that, I found my lighter. That's when I first started the self harm and all that. I actually like told him one time when he was treating me like shit on the phone that to hold on, and then I like took a nail filer and literally like filed my skin off. I know that's totally TMI and just gruesome, but yeah, I did, and he didn't even like feel bad. So, but yeah, it's not cool to like dump somebody that's like the next day after they lose their virginity to you. That's one like red flag that I should have saw. Yeah, I made him wait like a year before we did anything, but it's like, yeah, I honestly wish I would have lost it to Andrew, but Andrew drinks a lot of other things that aren't my virginity, so I mean, he's my first for a lot of like certain things that I shouldn't be talking about. So, I mean, I had a kid by him, so but and the whole finding out was right. I was already diagnosed schizoaffective. I asked my doctor, I'm like, does that mean that I'm getting worse? And she said, no, you've always had it this. I thought we told you, but you've always had it like this. I'm like, okay. So, and my doctor said my whole pregnancy, I had another doctor before her, but she died from cancer. It's really sad. Her name was Dr. Naeem. She was an amazing doctor. She saw a lot of different breakdowns with me. Um, my doctor that I see now, she's seen breakdowns too, but um, Dr. Naeem saw like probably like different ones and stuff. So, um, but um, yeah. When I was a kid, I was playing with my friend's brother. I don't know why I wasn't playing with her. I guess she was gone or something. So her brother wanted to play house with me. And back when I was a kid, I don't know why we were just, I don't know. I don't know why, but I would cry when we play. And we would always act like we were like married and like doing it. You know what I mean? We'd like, we wouldn't like do nasty stuff to each other, but we would kind of like pretend that we were like intimate with each other, with like just acting, you know what I mean? It was really bad. Um, when I was a kid, too, I got my first French kiss from this little boy in a garage. But I don't count that as my first kiss. My first kiss was at a pool when I was in ninth grade. Um, so, but, um, anyway, so we'd play house and we'd act like we were married and that we were doing it. And so my friend's brother, I guess my friend Megan wasn't home. So her brother wanted to play house with me. Well, I didn't know that he was going to do this, but we played house and we acted like we were married. Well, he wanted to act like we were doing it, but instead of acting, he actually wanted to do stuff to me. And I still remember what I was wearing that day. It's something that I'm over. I'm like grown over, but it doesn't like scar me or anything like that. But it is something bad that's happened to me. Um, he ended up touching my private, and I remember I was wearing these white shorts that were button up, and I kept pushing him away, saying no, no. I didn't think to slap him across the face like that. I just kind of like pushed him away, his hand away, and said no. And of course, he didn't listen to me. And then good thing, his parents were home because his mom saw what we were doing, and let's just say he got his butt beat by his dad. I told his mom exactly what happened. I said, he like touched me and I didn't want to be touched. I kept saying no. And so I remember like telling my parents and everything. I remember feeling really dirty, like extremely dirty. And so I took a bath and I just like felt really like disgusted and dirty and just really like bad and crying and all that, and it was just really bad. And yeah, but that was that I've ever stored. I take that back. I have been in sticky situations. I have been in sticky situation with guys. Um, I have like been forced to like do stuff by one person besides this guy. He didn't like make me touch him or anything like that. He just wanted to like do it to me. And yeah, so like yeah, so I guess you could say I did get molested at that time. He was older than me. Um, I think he was like 12 or 13, and I was like 8 or 9, maybe 11. I was young, a lot younger than him. He was older, but yeah, just certain things in my, in your life you don't forget like that. It hasn't like scarred me or like I need therapy or anything like that about it, but it only happened one time, and I mean he got pretty like beat, like he got in trouble, um, but I believe after that, like I don't remember. I think I was kind of like avoiding him back then because I think I used to see him at school sometimes, and like I kind of like um, stayed away and everything. But I don't even think I played with his sister anymore after that. I just didn't want to be around him. But yeah. One time, I don't know why, but this is when I think my mental illness happened, like with my childhood. Because who does this? I had a best friend named Cara, and like all kinds of crazy stuff happened with her and everything in our childhood. I don't know why, but one day, I don't know why or what. I don't know why I did it. But one day, like her family, like left the door like open at their house. Like they left it where you could go inside. Like their door was not locked, and I guess they went to the store or something. I don't know why. I can't remember why or what or why I did it. I don't know if I was mad at them or what, but for some reason I went inside their house and trashed it. I remember there was a bookshelf and I threw the books all over the place. And then I left. And I don't even know what happened to me or if I got in trouble for it or any of that or anything. Um, yeah, so it's something that you don't normally do. And I think that's like a sign like that I had mental illness back then too. But yeah. And when I was a kid too, like Kara's mom, um, this was in Navy housing in San Diego. And Kara's mom was actually like had these guys living with her during the time that her husband was on Westpac. And come to find out, they were like, they killed somebody. Like, come to find out, they actually like hijacked a car and killed the person. And they were like, had a warrant for their arrest, like all kinds of crazy stuff. Nothing bad happened to me, but like I was actually like in the car with these people going to the store. And of course, my mom trusted to go because she is really close friends with Cara's mom, and she knew that nothing bad would happen to me. But kind of find out we were around those people. Good thing they didn't do anything to us. But yeah, and then I didn't know for a while when I was younger that my school actually, like, these bad people were like gonna bomb the school, or that we were actually like on the bus and they left us on the bus for a while, but they were actually like gonna hurt us. Like I didn't even know that. Like, and then I found out that there were like bad people at our school, and the school kind of made it look like nothing was going on or anything like that. But yeah, there was like a bad situation at our school, my elementary school. Um, Good thing nobody got hurt or anything like that. But like that day, like I guess the school sent us home and everything was okay. But I guess the school told my mom and my dad that the school was actually like there were like a bad situation at our school where they were like gonna fucking kill all of us kids and all kinds of stuff. And yeah, I didn't even know till because we were like in the actual like um what's that called, the cafeteria for a while, if I remember. um and yeah, they like we got home safe, thank God. But yeah, I didn't know that for a while, like after that, during that time. Like during the time it happened, I didn't know anything about it because they were so like secretive. They didn't want to like have us panic or have like a bad situation like that. But yeah, like people were, they wanted to kill us kids. So um yeah, but so but yeah, I remember there was this guy that forced me to do stuff to him. And like my friend kind of like thought he was a cool guy, but then she kind of like didn't like him as well. So like I told her what happened, that like he kind of like forced it on me, like forced me to do stuff to him, and that like I didn't want to do it, all this stuff. Like he didn't like rape me or, but he like forced me to like do nasty stuff that I didn't want to do. And I just wanted to go home. Like he like took me to like an area that was like exclusive, and we were in his car and everything. This was so long ago. This was like California times. This was like probably like a year before I moved. So I was a lot younger, but um yeah, like he like forced me to do stuff, and then, I wasn't like scared of him or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like he didn't like make it like uncomfortable. He kind of like begged me, like just forcing me, to do what he wanted me to do. Not like saying stuff like I'm gonna kill you or anything like that, but just like forcing me to do stuff that I didn't want to do, and I hated it. Um, so, but like I don't know, like I told my friend about it, and my friend kind of confronted him, and of course he denied everything. My sister was really mad about it when she found out what happened to me. She wanted to freaking like put her 2 cents in, you know what I mean, and tell him like, stick up for me and like, all that. I never wanted to see him again. Um, I didn't even want to like be around him. Hey Sammy, it's nighttime here. How are you? Good afternoon in your country. So like I just did not want to be around him after that. We were actually, I don't know if it was the drinking that got him to do what he did, but like we like kind of like went to a party, kind of kickback party, like at his house or something like that. And yeah, like he like pulled me away and like, you know, wanted to go talk or whatever. So like we went away from where everything else. And the bad thing about it is that he like was dating somebody. So like I once she found out, I was like made out like some little slut that, it was just a bad situation. You know what I mean? Like, and I told her like, he forced himself on me. Like, I didn't want to do what we did and all that stuff, and I was like all that. So, and then like I've had situations that were just not good, like guys like wanting to be all, gross and disgusting, all sexual and all that stuff, like just like whipping out their whats and wanting me to do stuff. I've had to tell people like to take me home because I don't want to do anything, Some guys are just really just want to like some guys just like, they just want to do one thing, and I don't know. I used to feel sometimes like if I didn't do certain things that I would be raped. So like so long ago, like thank you. So like so long ago, like I would like this was way before I had my son. This was way before I had new Andrew. This was a long time ago. But sometimes like I would do things that I didn't want to do because I was too afraid that if I didn't do it, I would be raped. You know what I mean? If I didn't do what they wanted me to do, I would be raped. I had like situations like that in my past. So it's not that like I didn't like somewhat enjoy it, but it's like I just did it because I had that like awkward like just like I can't explain it, like just like feeling like if I don't do this, this guy's seriously gonna rape me because like he has me like where he wants me to be and all that. So I know that's like weird because like all that, but like that's just me. Like I didn't know like how to deal with like sticky situations and stuff. You meet people offline, you meet people and everything. You don't know like what they're capable of. So, but now that I'm older and everything, and I'm not like that age, like I won't ever do that to myself. And there was a while where, like, when I was younger, you know, thank you, I am. There was a while, like, where I didn't love myself. And this was when I was younger, too. Like, living in California. Living in California, I was miserable. Like, living in California, I was miserable a lot of the time. There was nothing to do except, you know, party, drink alcohol, do what, I didn't like do heavy drugs or anything like that because I didn't like want to do them. I mean, marijuana makes me paranoid, so why would I want to do something worse than, marijuana? Yeah, like, that's all you could do is, like, drink. And, I was in the high desert, so, like, there wasn't, like, shit to do except, party. And, I was pretty, like, promiscuous. It's not good for me because I haven't found the right type. I think if I found something with more, like, THC instead of something that makes me paranoid, I think I might like it. You know what I mean? Like, I just have had bad trips, and I have a kid to think about, and my best friend lost her son because she tested positive for marijuana, and it's illegal out where I live, so. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know, like, I don't know all the scientific stuff of it. Yeah, I know. I just have a chemical imbalance in my brain and, like, depression and everything. So, like, I don't know if it was, like, laced or something in California, but, like, I had, like, the worst trips of my life, like, out there. But I don't know. Like, out here, when before I had my kid, like, my best friend Nathan, like, he had, like, the best stuff. You know what I mean? Like, his was good, but, like, I don't know. Like, I've had bad trips. Like, I don't know. The thing with me, I have to be, like, in a good environment or, like, somewhere where I feel safe and secure or just around funny stuff to enjoy weed. You know what I mean? But, like, it's illegal out here, so I'm not gonna, like, mess with it. You know what I mean? So, but I just, I don't know. I hear such good things about it, and, I'm really happy. Like, it's helping with, like, people's moods and stuff, and, like, all that. And, it's helping with cancer patients and all that. It's doing good, but, like, for me personally, like, I just haven't found the right mixture of, it. So, like, but my friend Nathan did have good pot when I did smoke with him. So, he had, like, the kind that would, like, have fun and, like, giggle and all that. He had, like, I wasn't even paranoid on his. So I guess he had the right stuff or something. Like, maybe because was comfortable around him too. So I don't know. But thank you. But I don't know. Like, I don't give a feeling like I, like, didn't love myself. Yeah, I know. I know. But hey, like, if it was legal, like, I could probably, like, go to a smoke shop and be like, you know what? I want something that does this. I want something that's not gonna make me paranoid. I want a good, good one. Then they could probably, like, mix me up something that I could actually enjoy. You know what I mean? But there's no, like, smoke shops out here. It's not legal out here yet. So it's not like I can go to the store and be like, hey, I want this. I want more of this, and all that. So a lot of people told me when I was pregnant with my son that I should, because I had the worst, I mean the worst morning sickness. I don't know why they call it morning sickness, because it happens whenever it wants to, but I would literally, like, have the worst morning sickness of my life every day. I even had like this heat bucket thing that I would have every day that I would clean out. I know that's gross to say, but yeah, I would like throw up in there. But everybody's like, you need to like smoke pot, like it will like help with your morning sickness and like make you feel good. And I'm like, I really don't think it's right to like get my unborn child stoned. You know what I mean? Like that's not cool. So, so yeah. So, yeah. So, but it's also not good that I smoked my pregnancy. But the reason why I smoked my pregnancy is because I didn't want to go to a mental institution. I wanted to have my doctor told my sex doctor told me um we need to make sure that you're okay. So if you feel like you can't quit because we don't want you to end up in a mental institution during your pregnancy. And honestly, like I had a healthy baby. My son's healthy as hell. Um, Nothing bad happened. So they actually had to like I was like a like high risk pregnancy because of the fact that I was on medication during my pregnancy. I was not really on medication, but I was also still on my Vegas, so like they had to like check for birth defects and all that. So, um, but he came out a healthy weight, and everything. So he didn't like have asthma or anything like that. So, but it sucks because I like had like I lost my mind after the pregnancy. Like the whole pregnancy, I was fine. But after my pregnancy, after my hormones started changing back to normal, is when like I ended up in an institution. So it kind of sucked how that was because I had such an amazing pregnancy and everything. I loved being pregnant. I loved having him kick, just everything. And it sucks because I documented my whole pregnancy and everything, but none of you guys can see it because it's gone now because of fucking losers and haters that ruined my channel. So, I mean, that's when I like embraced my stomach. Like I embraced it when I was pregnant with my son. So, but yeah. The whole like dating world nowadays sucks. Like all guys want is to like not be committed and they just are afraid of commitment and they just want like no title. Like when Andrew was alive, all he wanted was like a title with me. I'd get mad at him and like all that, and I'd kind of like break it off and everything, and I kind of like be like, "Hey, best friend," and he's like, "I'm not your best friend." I'm like, "Then what are you?" He's like, "I'm your boyfriend." I'm like, "Oh, you want to be my boyfriend?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't want to be your friend." I'm like, "Okay." So he always wanted to be my boyfriend. He wasn't afraid to commit to me because he loved me. He was like the only guy that could put up with me. And yeah, it sucks how fucked up shit has to be in your life. But yeah, our paths will cross again. But Oh, talking about weed. Um, well, we'll talk about weed and we'll talk about cigarettes. One time I got freaking like big time high on chronic, and I was like really like I was like fucking high as fuck. I was just really stoned. I felt sick. I told my friend I felt sick. This was my first time like smoking chronic. I told my friend I felt sick. She's like, "You'll be okay. You'll be okay." I go in her boyfriend's car that she's dating, and I literally throw up fucking everywhere, all over the place. Um, yeah, it was really bad. And then the first time that I smoke a cigarette in the car, I blow chunks all over my brother-in-law's car. And this was like right after I ate like a bagel, like a really good bagel, all over his truck. Not in the inside, because he didn't want me puking the inside, but all over the side of his truck. And this was like the first time that I ever smoked a cigarette in the car. I know that's totally TMI, but yeah. And then, yeah, it was bad. So, but, so, no, it's gross, and I don't throw up anymore in cars. Oh, well, I did actually. I have one more story about that. I did get really freaking drunk with my best friend at a bar. And he was like acting like a free baller, like having lots of money, and he had tons of cash. And like he would buy me, like that night, like drinks for free with him. I could drink whatever I wanted. So he got me fucking wasted. And I got so drunk. I ended up getting I ended up getting I ended up feeling like sick, but not really too sick. I ended up getting Jack in the Box with him, and after I ate the Jack in the Box, during like the going through Jack in the Box, I'm like, I feel sick. He's like, oh, you can eat and make me feel better. So I ate, and I threw up all over his car, and he was so sweet about it, so sweet, and like, yeah, it was bad. Um, yeah, I was have another one. I was trying to be a show off with Andrew one time. This was like when we first started dating. I was trying to be a show off. I remember I was on the couch with him. I ended up throwing up on his pants. I, yeah, I couldn't take all of it. hmm But yeah, that's another situation, and that's not the first time that's happened. Somebody that actually did that too is like, you owe me a pair of pants. Like, yeah. But and then these are like throw up stories. Sorry. And then what else? If I have any more, I think that's my last throw up story. But yeah, don't be a show off with that. Like, don't be a show off. If you can't take it, don't try. Like, don't don't try. Uh, that's all I gotta say. But oh yeah, one more throw up story. I don't know if you guys remember Mad Dog 2020, but I do because yeah, it's cheap and it fucks you up. Well, one night I decided to drink Mad Dog 2020. I drank 2 bottles. I ended up puking it all up. Normally I don't vomit with Normally I do not throw up with drinks. Like when I get drunk, I Yeah. So, and then one time, me and my brother were drinking. We were driving around trying to sober up. We used to sober up at Denny's a lot. We'd get like coffee and sober up there. Well, we decided to, I guess, drive around, and like it was curfew time, 17. So they were running curfew. They told my brother to take me home. Instead, we ended up drinking at his friend's house. That was a fun night. Um, when I found out I was bisexual was during the time of Spin the Bottle, when I kissed these couple girls. When like I found out that I was into girls, besides like other things that I was going, that I've been through, finding out what my sexuality is. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go, you guys. It's nice talking to you guys. Um, hopefully I don't get judged by these stories, but I feel like I can open up to you guys. So thumbs up, subscribe. I love you guys so much. All right, bye.